Oh, yes. Welcome to the Gov Shack. A little bit past 8 p.m., actually, right at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. And there were so many things I was thinking about bringing up and going back and forth. But the biggest issue is something that popped up in my feed recently, and people have been talking about things recently. And that is the Republican governor, I guess, front runner for Republican nominee, which is the Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. And why does that matter? Why do you care about that? Well, if you're watching this show, you know I'm running for governor, or you wouldn't be watching this show. So thank you for watching. But you know that he is someone I'd have to be running against, right? Me running as an independent, me running as Libertarian, as a We the People party nominee, that I'd be running against him. And he would probably have, if he's the front runner, the Republican line and the conservative line. As some of you know already, in New York State, we have very special or odd rules where we can literally be listed multiple times on the same ballot. So he'll be listed Republican, Bruce Blakeman, conservative, Bruce Blakeman, and all the votes together count. I'll be listed Libertarian and We the People, and all the votes count. And Kathy Hochul will be listed Democrat and Working Families, and all of them. So each of us listed 2 times. But I thought to myself recently, as people have been reaching out to me and saying, after Elise Stefanik left the stage, because she obviously was the original frontrunner, that maybe it's time for me to get involved and run in the Republican primary. Now, in the past, I've always said, why bother? I get asked this question every time I run. I got asked in 2018, asked in 2022. And I always go, why? I can lose on my own, right? I don't need the Republicans to lose. I can lose all by myself. I've done it before. I'm actually pretty good at it. So I can do it all by myself. And why would I want to be just another Republican who's lost versus someone who's fighting for the independent party and making things done? And also, in 2018, what I was trying to achieve in 2022, which I failed at, was to gain ballot access for a future growth movement, which is really important and has actual, value. If I'm able to get, and I think I will be able to get, ballot access for 1 or 2 lines, independent parties, now we can create coalitions, independent coalitions, single issue coalitions, to stop the one party rule that I have in New York State. Sadly, too many Republicans think, oh, well, Republicans just somehow win because Kathy Hochul's so bad. Kathy Hochul's been bad for 5 years, 6 years already. Cuomo was bad 6 years before that. That didn't work. So that's not a thing. But many Republicans keep thinking that. The answer is coalitions, multiple parties together to stop the Democratic majority or the establishment. In reality, half the time the Republicans are the establishment too. So, but to break the establishment is the answer. You have to have coalitions. You might go, but Larry, why don't you just vote against Kathy Hochul? Because in New York State, Democrats have been told for decades that all Republicans are bad or evil. They wouldn't vote for them. And they will not vote for somebody who's endorsed by Trump. They're just not gonna. That's not a thing. That's not a thing in my state. That's not going to happen in my state. Again, if you live in Kansas, you live in Missouri, you live in Oklahoma, great. Nice. That's perfect. Good job. But if you don't live in one of those states, it's not going to happen here in New York. It's just not. It is a fantasy. How do I know that? Because something popped up on Facebook. Yes, on the dreaded Facebook. And it was this picture right here. I'm going to show this. And for his sake, I hope it's a mistake. For his sake. This is Bruce Blakeman on his, hold on, let me pop this out real fast. This is Bruce Blakeman right now on his Facebook page. And he's saying, we're 50% to our 100,000 end of year fundraising goal. Right? So it's not enough. We got to reach 100,000 in the next few hours to show Kathy Hochul, like she cares, that we're showing up to beat her. Okay, I've raised more money than him. I've raised more money than him. If this is true, I hope this is some error for his sake, not for my sake. I hope it's 100% true for my sake. For his sake, I hope this is some kind of error. Remember, Elise Stefanik raised what, $2 or $3 million in the first month? He's been running for a month. He raised 50 grand. 50 grand? I've raised more than that. I'm closer to 100,000 than he is. In fact, I'm probably going to break it. So already, if this is true, are you kidding me? He is utterly beatable. He's beatable. Not just that, he has 44,000 followers on Facebook. They go, oh, what do I care? He's a sitting 2-term Nassau County executive. He's 7 years old and been in the game for 50 years. He has 44,000 followers. I have double that. Now, again, is that, does that mean I'm going to win? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it means I'm going to win. It means he's beatable. This guy should be wrecking me. When Stefanik was running, Stefanik was wrecking me in fundraising. She was wrecking me in social media. She was wrecking me in everything. This guy's not even close. It's been a month and no one's paying attention. I'm going to go over to his Instagram. 15,000 followers. I got 10,000 more than him. Again, not that that's the answer, but he is a sitting executive. I'm not. This is what's happening. And what's all his posts? His posts are, I'm not joking, Blakeman to Mamdani. Blakeman says Hochul's bad. Mamdani's bad. Everything he's showing is just bad, Democrats bad. Not one answer. As you check your bank accounts, Chris, remember Kathy Hochul handed $4.5 billion of your money to illegal immigrants. Is that going to work in a Democratic state? Dominated Democrat state like New York? If you think so, you don't know New Yorkers. I know New Yorkers very well. I know New Yorkers better than most people. Not everybody, but better than most. I meet them all the time. I travel and meet them all the places. This is not going to work. In New York City, this doesn't work. In Buffalo, Rochester, it does not work. That's what he's doing. That's his only answer. Kathy Hochul bad, Kathy Hochul bad, Kathy Hochul bad, Mamdani bad, Mamdani bad, Kathy Hochul bad. If you go to mine, I give you policies and answers. Okay, I'm not done. Here, we're going to go to his ex. 11,000 followers. 11,000. I have 40,000 more followers than him here. And what's he saying? Donate now because Kathy Hochul's bad. And then let it to Mamdani. And then I love veterans. I hold my hand. Okay. How does any of this make any New Yorker pay their rent? How does any of this make any New Yorker feel better about life? How does any of this make any New Yorker, their kid, learn how to read? Anything? Any of these at all? My answer is it does nothing for any of them at all. It's horrible. Oh, I'm not even done. This is his YouTube page. Oh, he doesn't have one. I'm not joking. I couldn't find it. But his Nassau County one has, I'm not joking, 220 subscribers. Not 220,000, 220. I have 37,000. Again, it is very rare that I can ever brag, ever. It is very rare. I can never brag about how awesome my viewership is. It is insanely rare that I can brag on that. But that I can brag on that on him? All right. You might go, but Larry, it's okay, but his website. Here's his website. We've shown his website before. Nothing's on it. It's one page. His website is one page. And if I go down to his social media, it says donate, and it's Instagram, which you saw, Facebook, which you saw, X, which you saw, no YouTube. He doesn't have a YouTube page. Does that mean he can't afford to get people together to do this? Are we kidding? Is this a joke? I hope for his sake, not for mine, for my sake, I hope it's 100% true. Hope for his sake he's somehow hiding it or something, whatever. This is terrible. When I saw this, like, wait a minute. It is insanely bad. It's not going to work. There's no way he's not even campaigning well. He doesn't do long form at all. He does he's same thing Starling to do. 2 or 3 minutes on like some mainstream like Fox News or something. That's it. And all he does is talk about how bad Hochul is. I've shown you this before. This is what I'm up against. And when I saw this, I thought, maybe it's time for me to walk in this door. If I had to walk in, and I'm getting to be clear, this is after Trump endorsed him. This is after Trump endorsed him. He's already endorsed by Trump. And you don't have $1 million in your pocket already? You don't have $2 million in your pocket already? Everybody knows you can't win. Everybody knows he has zero. Everybody knows Elise couldn't win. And when Elise walked away, they went, yeah, no one can win. It's impossible. No one can win this thing. It's impossible. They know he cannot win. He knows he can't win. It's impossible for him to win. They all know this. So now I'm thinking, what if I just walk in and take it? What if I just walk in and take it? I'm raising more money than him. I'm more popular than him across the state. I'm more this has not happened before. Like, I wasn't more popular than Elise Stefanik. I mean, I'm better than her, but I wasn't more popular than her. I didn't have a bigger, war chest. I didn't have bigger social media than her. She beat me on all of those things. Why you didn't see me talk about it? Because I'd be saying, yeah, she beat me on those. I can talk trash about him all day long. If somebody sees something I don't know, please let me know. But this seems insane to me. If I get in the Republican primary, nobody else wants to run a Republican primary, right? Of course not. Why would you, right? Why would you want to? I love how people always get mad at me. Larry's out there wasting time and money and grifting and whatever. I get my ass kicked when I run. If it was so easy and it was so great to run, there'd be 17 people in the primary, wouldn't there? Everybody be jumping up and being like, oh, yeah, we're all going to jump up and we're going to beat Kathy Hochul. They know they can't. He'd have all kind of competition. I want to be clear. Here's what Bruce Blakeman says. This is an important piece when he's saying, why should you vote for him? I'm not joking. Why you should give. This is what he actually says. Again, he says it. This is on his ex, Bruce Blakeman. His words. I am the only Republican running for New York governor against failed radical liberal Kathy Hochul. That's the opening line. I'm all you got. His opening line, his argument to you is, yeah, nobody else. That's his argument. Nobody else. He said in his last interview, he said, what do you got to lose? That's what he said. That's vote for me because whatever, why not? That's his answer. Vote for me because whatever. What are you going to do? That's his answer. Bruce Blakeman, what are you going to do? That should literally be his tagline. That should be his tagline. Bruce Blakeman, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That should be his tagline. And it's sad, that's what it is. That's where it actually is. And failed radical liberal. Okay. That is just Republican talking points. That's all it is. Kathy Hochul is not a radical liberal. She is a Hochulist. She is whatever will get her elected. She'd be a Republican tomorrow if she thought that'd get her elected. She'd be a conservative. She'd be a libertarian. She'd be a green. She'd be whatever. Remember how she was all kissing up on Mamdani? Now all of a sudden everything he says he's not doing anymore? So yeah. She's whatever. She's not a radical. She's a radical liberal if that's what will get her elected. That's all. If that won't get her elected, she's not that. That's his best pitch. Bruce Blakeman. What are you gonna do? Doesn't sound. That's what Phil says. Bruce Blakeman. Forget about it. That's literally it. That is him. Yes, that's literally him. So look, seeing that makes me think maybe it's time for me to move forward. For those of you who are asking how and why and what's the good and what the bad of it, and I am really thinking about this, and I feel like there's a couple ways I can do it. Number one, I could just say, hey, Republicans, be smart. Give me the line. Let me run as an independent and give me what's called a Wilson Pakula. A Wilson Pakula is a document that Republicans will give to allow someone who's not in their party to run in their party. Similar to what happens with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is officially not a Democrat. He's officially a socialist. And so the Democrats allow him to run in their primary, even though he's not a Democrat. You can do that. There's a legal way of doing it. You can. The Republicans, with me, they go, okay, you're not a Republican, Larry, but we'll let you run in our primary. And the document name in New York State is called the Wilson Pakula. I don't know why it's called that. That's just the name of it. So I can ask them to do it. To do that, I have to get at least 50% of the executive committee of the Republican Party in New York State to say yes. To do that, I'm in. That's option one. If that happens, I run as an independent. Life is good. I still get my independent line. I still get my Libertarian line. I still get my We People line. I still go for those lines either way. But now I could run as an independent in there. That to me is a better answer. The other answer is they go to hell, Larry. Bruce Blakeman's our guy because reasons and because we hate you, Larry. And the Republican establishment does not like me. So that is true. They sued me off the ballot in 2022. So the Republican voters like me. The Republican establishment does not like me. So they might go, you know what, Larry, you might win, but we're petty. And I wish I was joking, but that could actually happen. But we're petty. And we're not going to give you the Wilson Pakula. Too bad, because we're petty. Sorry. They might do that. If they do that, I can just change my registration before February to Republican and then say, okay, now you can't tell me no. Now, they can at that point, if they go to the Republicans will go to their convention, and they could, if they want to, just say, we hate Larry Sharpe and we're all going to vote no against you. So you can't be in which case I'd have to get 15,000 signatures of Republicans, and then I force a primary. That happened in 2022. Could do that. In which case now they can't stop me, and I just take the line. Now, I'm talking trash about taking the line. I am. But what's my actual odds of taking the line? I say very high. Why do I say that? Here's the reason. Here's the reality. I'm still going to go get Libertarian and We the People because I'm still Libertarian. That's still going to happen no matter what, right? So I'll do that. So now they have a choice. The Republican Party has a choice at this point. They can say, hey, we hate Larry Sharpe that much that we're going to stop him and we're going to spend all our money and give it to Blakeman and stop Larry Sharpe. They do if you want to, sure. But I still run their primary. I become very popular. They barely beat me out. And if they beat me out, I still have 2 more lines, and Blakeman gets his ass kicked because he's a terrible candidate, and I wreck him in every other way possible, and the Republicans come in third come November. And maybe I win. Maybe. Depends how that works. I might actually win. I get popular enough. I could actually win the damn thing anyway in a 3-way race, or Republicans come in third either way. So they get their butt kicked. Republicans I'm coming in third either way. Either I win it or I come in second and they come in third. Oh my God, terrible for them. Or they go, you know what? Why don't we stop and let this guy just win this thing because he's going to anyway. We don't have to get behind Blakeman. Let Blakeman fail. Blakeman fails, which he will because he's a terrible candidate. He will fail. I get the Republican line. The Conservative Party just gets in line because in New York State, Conservative Party just gets in line. Then Libertarian, then We the People. I have 4 lines. 4 lines against Kathy Hochul's 2, a 2-way race. Me against Kathy Hochul. Guys, I'm not as governor of New York. I'm not joking. There's no way she can win. It's impossible. And here's the best part. The Democratic Party will throw tens of millions of dollars into this race because they don't want to lose it. And every other anti-Democrat, independent, libertarian, Republican will go, oh my God, we could topple Kathy Hochul, give Larry all the money that we have. Please give him all the money. This will become a $100 million race. Just like that. $100 million race. So Republicans, Democrats, if you're listening, Republicans, Democrats, if you are listening, and you're part of the Griftopia world of becoming consultants, it's a gold mine for you. Consultants, pollsters, a lot of money going to be thrown here, maybe. So 6212 says, don't get the LaRouche line. You know what? Maybe I should get that line. I know Dan Sarah, love her. Talked to her just the other day. I would then have all 5 of the Infinity Stones to create the gauntlet. I'd have all 5 Infinity Stones, right? Republican, Conservative, Libertarian, We the People, and then LaRouche. All 5. And then I am inevitable. True. All right, I got to call Diane and see if I can make that happen. Maybe I will. It's not a bad idea. That's a fifth line. So there we go. I get all the Infinity Stones. Not a bad idea. But that's what I'm thinking about. The bad part, of course, is there are other problems that could happen, right? One, the Republican Party could just go against me completely and try to stop me in every way, shape, or form. They might raise a bunch of money out of fear that I would take over their line and then try to stop me and sue the hell out of me to get me off the line for Libertarian and We the People. So it isn't just that obvious. There are downsides to that. The other downsides are, does that mean that me getting that Republican line, does that turn enough New Yorkers off to where they're like, well, I don't care if you're also Libertarian or also LaRouche or also We the People. You've got that Republican on you, and therefore I don't want to get no, right? No. Will New Yorkers just say no because I have the Republican line? Is that a thing too? I have to worry about that also. So I think these are issues that I've got to be concerned about when making this decision, and it's a big one. So let me grab a couple comments if I could. D says, it's time for Larry Sharpe to take the line. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Shelley says, take the line. Republicans want a candidate they can vote for instead of against. This is true. You find when I'm talking to most people in New York State, while I will I will throw shade on Kathy Hochul, of course, you kind of have to. I throw some shade on her. But my campaign isn't built upon Hochul bad or, as a Democrat, Trump bad. Do I sometimes throw shade at Trump? Sometimes. Do I throw shade at Kathy Hochul? A whole lot more. But I do. I throw shade when I think it's appropriate to throw shade. But then I give you an answer what I think should happen, right? That's the issue. So, yeah. Mike Boss is in house. He goes, this could finally get Hochul and Blakeman to seriously address the needs of the state. Real solutions, not empty promises. Competing plans. It's a win-win for us all. True. The question is, Mike, would they? The question is, how much hubris does Kathy Hochul have, right? She tends to just insult and dismiss. That tends to be her way. Will she just say, Larry Sharpe, another whatever, Republican light, blah, 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 and just dismiss me? I hope she'll do that. Will she? I don't know, right? I'm not sure. Now, if some polling comes out that shows I'm doing well, she might change her mind. But I could see her kind of being asleep at the wheel at that point. I mean, her people do watch my show. So I'm saying this, they're going to hear about it. The question is, do they care? In the past, they didn't care. They're like, whatever, this guy can't win. He's not going to beat us. He might beat a Republican. He ain't going to beat us. They didn't care. Will they stay asleep at the wheel? I can only hope. Will Blakeman all of a sudden change? Maybe, but Blakeman doesn't want to do this. This thing people don't understand. These guys don't actually want to run. Running is punishment. Mike, you've run. Running is punishment. It's not just like, oh, it's all fun and we all go on Joe Rogan and chill with Joe Rogan. That's not what running for office is. It's a year of punishment. That's why Stefanik dropped out. He's like, I'm not going to fight for this. If Blakeman has to fight for this, he loses. Christopher in the house. Greetings from Buffalo. I have a restaurant shift tonight. I'm a line cook, but I have a good hour or so before departing, so I'm turning in. Thank you, my friend. Everybody counts. He goes on to say, I'm a registered Republican, but nationally, but a Libertarian at heart who votes gold in local elections. Thank you, my friend. I need more of you, more like you. Yes, thank you. Square Table says, Larry Sharpe should be the 2028 Libertarian nominee for president, hands down. Stop punishing. I thought you liked me. I was on your podcast. I thought you liked me. You're going to punish me for president? Thought we were friends. So Chris goes on to say, thank you. Happy to be here. I tell you what I can. Promoting Larry on social media is free, and I do what I can where yes, guys, some of you have been doing this, and it may look bad, but it's great. Some of you have been taking like either my website or my Facebook page or something like that and putting it into other Facebook groups that tend to be anti-Hochul, but are really hardcore Republican. This is a wonderful idea. Please keep doing this. They rip me to shreds. They call me names, insult me, call me all the things. Good. I don't care. Let them go. Oh, he's a spoiler. He's a Hochul plant. He ensures Democrats win. I get all that shit all the time. Please do it. Please. And if you want to encounter and go back and forth so that it gets more engagement, please do it. I need Republicans to know that I'm running. I need them to know. I don't care if they hate me. I don't. if they'll tune in to hate watch me and call me names, the difference between Democrats and Republicans in general, there's exception, but general rule is, remember, Democrats will just dismiss. They won't even watch. Republicans will. They'll hate watch. And they'll watch ready to rip me up. And they'll attack. And I'm okay with that. Because then we go back and forth and I can turn some of them. So please, if you can put my stuff in any of the Facebook group, Discord server, whatever you can, put my name, put my stuff in there, let them rip me up. I'm not mad at all. Happy they're doing it. Please, it's a great idea. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that. So Wesley says, hello, y'all. Look forward to hearing about this topic from some of the people who are really knowledgeable about the New York political structures and players. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Yes, I'm trying to give you the details on how it works. I am. Here's the thing to remember. This is also, right? This is also a fundraiser, right? When I do this Gov Shack, it is obviously, talk back and forth, click that like button as always. It's also a fundraiser. If you haven't donated, please donate. If you haven't already, please don't do so. Why? I have to report January 1st is my report date. And I want to be able to make more than Blakeman now. And I might be able to. If I can report more money than Blakeman, oh my God. So yes, I am bugging you. If you're like, Larry, could I wait till after the new year? I'm going to beg you, please throw a couple bucks in now. I'm going to go one step further. I still need to get my 5,000 New Yorkers. So if you are a New Yorker and you want to give, please do me a favor and make sure you give from you and from somebody else. So if you say, Larry, I could throw you 50 bucks. Okay, great. 25 from you, 25 from somebody else in your household. That would be nice because then I get more numbers of donors. My total donors is only about 2,000 New York. That's about it. So I need 3,000 more New Yorker donors. So if you can get another person in your household, whatever you can give. You can give 50 bucks, 25 each is nice. 40, 10, I don't care, whatever. As long as it's $5 or more, because they will only match $5 or more, up to $250. So between $5 and $250, whatever that number is you can handle, please do that. If you have more than one person, that is helpful if you live in New York State. If you don't live in New York State, I need that money so I can go target New York State people. Because here's the next thing. Once I get that 500,000 from 5,000 New Yorkers, New York State will give me $3 million in matching funds. With $3 million in matching funds, getting the Libertarian Party line, easy day. With the People Party line, easy day. Whipping Blakeman's ass in June, easy day. Easy day. That's why this matters. So guys, if you haven't, please do so. If you know people a guy owes you money, say, dude, you owe me 20 bucks, give me 15, throw 5 to Larry. Here's a link. LarrySharpe.com says, throw him 5, give me 15. Some guy owes you money. It's important. Do it if you can. And as soon as you possibly can. Every bit counts. If we can beat Blakeman, I hope for his sake he was lying or made a mistake or something. But if that's real, what happened to Stefanik's $3 million? All you Republican people told me, you don't understand, Larry Sharpe. She's got to give that money to Blakeman. Ooh, she didn't, did she? She didn't, did she? You might go, Larry, I don't want to just give you money. I want to get something cool. You can. LarrySharpe.com/shop. Get yourself a shirt, a hoodie, a cup, bumper sticker, whatever it is. Please do so. If you've already given up enough, no worries. You can always volunteer. I need volunteers for you to be doing the things we were just talking about. Lastly, if you're going to super chat me, you can. Super chat me at LarrySharpe.com/super chat. That does work if you want to do that. That's how you can give that. You can't super chat me here because YouTube, because politics. So I can't do it that way. You have to go through LarrySharpe.com/super chat, and that does count towards donations. So win-win on that one. All good. All right, and grab some more comments if I could. All righty. There's so many of these here I want to grab. All righty. 99 says, should you just talk about instant interest now? No, I should not. There is a time to do so. So I have to make sure I have the right thing to do. I don't know. And I don't know what Republicans are going to do. I haven't made a decision yet. I've been talking to a lot of Republican kind of anti-establishment guys in New York State. A lot of them are like, Larry, now's the time, because they know they don't want, they can't win. They know that Blakeman's not the guy. He's going to just curl up and die. They know it. And they're like, Larry, just jump on board, man. You could do this. And I am thinking it, right? But these are all anti-establishment people, which tells me that the establishment is still against me right now. But if they're able to convince the establishment Republicans in New York State, they don't have to. They just go, Larry, run. It's fine. Just run. That to me makes the most sense. By the way, if any of you know any establishment Republican people in New York State, give them a call and go, guys, don't be stupid. Don't make Larry do this. He'll just be angry. It's a waste of time. Just let him run. Then it makes sense. Gracie says, I listened to a lot of talk radio where they said a quiet part out loud. The GOP gave up in New York State a while ago. Yes, I've been saying that for years. Yes. Everyone they run is a sacrificial lamb. That's all it is. Look, I think that New York State is maybe 2 or 3 cycles away from the Republican Party no longer running statewide candidates. Just they won't bother. You can't. Who's going to do it? Why would you do this just to get your ass kicked? Why? Why? You might do it maybe if you thought that maybe you were going to be able to be like at a VP slot in the future and you just want to get your name out there or something, maybe, but that's about it. Otherwise, why would you do it? It makes no sense. It's just punishment and embarrassment. What people don't understand, again, the people who hate me always go, Larry Sharpe, he lied or whatever they say I did. My failures are public for the rest of my life. Most people, when they make some kind of mistake, do something dumb, most people, they do the dumb or bad thing or whatever it is, and that's it. You move on and people forget about it. People will tease me about this forever. Forever. It's not like you do it because it's great. You do it because you want to, because it matters. Christopher goes on to say, Blakeman is a token candidate. Yes. Most of the Republican boomers I've come across over social media tend to favor him. He's got no chance, but Larry Sharpe does based on demographics alone. Yes. Yes. Let's see if I get it right. Dominic Perez says, you definitely should run the Republican line. You'd be a breath of fresh air compared to Blakeman. I hear that all the time. I hear that constantly. I think you are correct. Yes. So Phil says, Larry's making a tender offer before the hostile takeover. See? I'm being loving, Phil. There we go. So 99 says, yeah, I'm going to be honest. They aren't giving you that, Larry. We both know that they don't want you to do that. We really need to see how you can force a primary through signatures. I'm not saying you're wrong. And I've had a lot of people tell me that same thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. But I don't want to walk down that road and get people up and running and started if I'm not going to do this. I want to commit. If I'm going to sit here and go, hey guys, get out there, do this, come on, do this, I need to be 100% in. If I'm going to ask, as I always say, I don't get to point a finger at you until I point a finger at me first. So I can't sit here and say, give me money if I won't put my own money in, right? And I put my own money in my campaign. First thing I did when I started my campaign was I put 10 grand of my own money into my own campaign. So I can't ask you for money if I don't put my own money in. I can't ask you for time if I don't give you time. I can't ask you to go all in if I won't go all in. So I haven't decided I'm going all in on this plan yet. So I'm not prepared to say, hey, get out there, start doing it until I know I'm all in. I will let you know if and when I become all in. And if I am all in, I will then say, time, let's do this. So it's unfair and I think ethically wrong for me to expect something out of you that I wouldn't do myself. Right? That's one of the things that people, I tell the story a lot, but maybe I've heard it. Before I ran for governor, before I ran for anything, I was supporting people. I supported Gary Johnson in 2012. Our governor candidate in 2014, before in 2018, was a guy named Michael McDermott. I liked him very much. He's sadly passed away since then. I was his driver. I was a big donor of his. I did debate prep for him. I did all those things for him. I was a supporter, right? I was out to get signatures. I did all the things for him. So what I asked you to do, I did, right? When it came to Gary Johnson, 2016, I raised money for Gary. I raised, probably $250,000 for Gary Johnson. Maybe more. I don't remember. I raised a ton of money for him. So I raised money for Gary Johnson. Absolutely. So I did all the things. I was on TV for him. I was a surrogate for him in the media, right? When Lars Mapstead was around, I was a surrogate for him in the media. When I was Jr. last year, I was a surrogate for him in the media. So I've played these. I've raised money for them. So I'm not going to sit here and say, you need to, and point my finger at you until I've already pointed at myself. So that was a long way of saying, I'm not ready to commit yet. When I'm ready to commit, I will tell you, then I will ask you to commit as I've committed. Hope that makes sense at least. Looking over at Rumble, Joel, thank you for subscriptions, my friend. I appreciate that, guys. If you're on Rumble, please grab a subscription on Rumble if you would. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for that. Every bit does count. Yes, thank you so much. The subscriptions are great. Thank you so much on Rumble. You guys can watch. I'm on Rumble. I'm also on YouTube and, of course, also on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all the things. I appreciate it. So over on Instagram, Gibson says, there are other Republicans running, but politicians don't really care about them. They just care about popular politicians, but I'm voting for you, Larry, 100%. Oh, thank you. Yes, the reason why he says it is because unless something happens, there will be no primary, in which case there will only be one Republican running. So he will be accurate if there is no primary. People can call themselves Republicans or be registered Republicans, but the nominee, how it works, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 75% in the Republican Party. If 75% of the delegates at their convention say they all support the same person, there by default is no primary. That's how they work. And they've done it the same that way for the past 3 years, 3 cycles. They don't want primaries. Now you can force a primary, as I mentioned, if you want to. If you are Republican, you can go with 15,000 signatures of registered Republicans, and then it forces a primary. So you can do that if you want to. That's the other option that we have. So, yes. All right. Kay-chan, thank you for the Live membership. I appreciate the membership, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Every bit counts. Keep them going, guys. Thank you so much. Yes. All righty. I'm going to grab some more of these if I can. Ken says, Harry Brown said, Republicans campaign like Libertarians and govern like Democrats. He's not wrong. What if New York Republicans actually voted for someone who will govern like he campaigns? Ooh. I like that. I do like that. That's good. I may copy that, Ken. I may copy that. Nice. All right. I'll grab some more of these if I can. Andrew says, that GOP line doesn't sound too bad. Just remember what and whom you're running for. No, it's a valid point, which is why, people have said, Larry, they've told me this, just go make a deal with the Republicans. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want to say, look, guys, let me run, or I'll just go take it. And that sounds horrible. But if I don't do that, Andrew, I've got to make a deal, which I start forgetting who I'm running for and what I'm doing. Yes, that is why I do not want to go and make a deal, because they're going to be like, well, just say this or do that or whatever. Then all of a sudden, what am I doing? Which is one of the reasons why I didn't do it in the past, right? I didn't do this in the past. Why? There wasn't any chance. It was a waste of my time, money, and energy. And then I'm going to say, Andrew, get out there, give me money, go get me signatures, go online, do all this stuff for nothing. Now, again, I take full responsibility for my failure in 2022, but I was hoping I'd copy 2018. So I did it because I believed that I would have success. I want success again. I'm not going to sit here and go, hey, Andrew, go do all the things. I'm going to bug you. Get out there and do it. I'm going to sit there with my finger in your face saying do all these things when I'm going to just sell out. I'd rather run as an independent and just get ballot access, and we'll start the movement that way. Look, I am very proud of this, so I say it all the time. After I got ballot access for the Libertarian Party in 2018, we had 107 local victories in 2019. That is a grassroots movement that everyone talks about. Larry wants you grassroots, start at the bottom. I did that. And then the state crushed me. Well, I'm going to do it again. And we'll start it again. Now, look, Andrew, do I want to go to the top and become governor? Of course. Of course. I am prepared for this. Of course. That's why I do what I do. Of course. But I can accept we'll go grassroots. I said it before. I break a hole. Everyone else follows me through. I can accept that. That's still a victory. But do I just want to run as some Republican, get my ass kicked, and nothing changes? Well, then what did I do that for? Let's go back to work. I'll go back to work. Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, all righty here. Takes care of that. Okay, takes care of that. All right, Andrea says the Republican establishment doesn't like you because you have policies. True. That's accurate. That's absolutely true. They don't like me because they actually have, yes. They don't like the fact that I actually have policies, that I actually have things that, we can fix something. Yes. 99 says you only need 15,000. Yes. To force a primary, 15,000. Remember, if you are one of the political parties, you don't need 45,000. What most people don't know is that the stuff they make me do, they don't have to. And our judges go, that sounds good, because our judges are garbage. So they just go, yeah, totally fine. So you might go, well, Larry, you got to get 45,000. So do they. No, they don't. They just get in the ballot. Just because. In fact, they've never had to get 45,000. See, when they made the new rules, they just said, well, you're already on, so you don't count the new rules. So they don't have to do the new rules. They just get in the ballot. I have to jump through hoops. This is literally a barrier to entry. Literally. And the judges went, that's fine, because we're terrible judges in New York State, so that's fine. They accepted it completely. So they don't have to. So if they want to force a primary, 15,000. Not 45. They're Republicans, Democrats. They're better than me. Yes, that's how my system works. And my judges said, that's great. Totally fair. Totally fair. So, yeah. All righty. I think we passed that piece. D says, I want to see Larry ruin Hochul on the base stage. That would be amazing. I agree. That would be amazing. I would love that. I would love that. So Andrew says, so what are the other two lines? Libertarian, Republican, forward, and what else? Okay. I don't know if I can get the forward line. I do know Andrew Yang. I would ask him if he likes this idea, if he would do it. That'd be amazing. But the lines would be Libertarian with people, which I'm already getting. That's already done. And the next two would be Republican and Conservative. That's 4. And then what I get another one? Would I get LaRouche? I mean, I know Diane said, maybe I could, right? Or maybe forward. Maybe I have 6 stones. There's only 5, right? I have 6. That's the extra stone. So there we go. I'm extra cool. So yes. All righty. 90 goes on to say, Blakeman is by far the worst candidate they've tried to run. I saw Astorino. Yep, I remember. I like Astorino. Personally, I like him. I saw Molinaro. Yep. I still have a cell phone. Yep. I saw Zeldin. Yep. I saw Stefanik. This guy sucks. If you have any chance to primary Republicans, it's now. This is what I think. This is why I'm thinking this. For all of you guys who've been talking to me about this for years, I have not been saying this. Now I am. It's because Stefanik walked away and they threw up Blakeman. This is why I'm thinking this may be my shot. I'm with you. I think this may be my shot. So yes. Shelley says, working families. Working families is the conservative follows Republican, working families follows Democrat. So yes. So anyway, all righty. Andrea says, at Larry, have you heard of Richard Barris at Big Data Poll? No, maybe you should hook us up. Maybe you should hook us up. So he says they already sued you. Yeah, in 2022. That's how I got my ass kicked. The Democrats made rules to crush us in 2020, and the Republicans finished me off with a lawsuit in 2022. So it was a 1-2 punch. Yes. Shelley says it. Yep. They sued him last time because Democrats backed it. Yes. Shelley was there at Shelley actually showed up at one of my court dates. I had 8 court dates. I lost all of them, but Shelley was at one of them. Yes, absolutely. Christmas says, Infinity Stones. Yes. True, but yes, absolutely great way to put it. Yes. And then I will be inevitable. Yes, correct. Absolutely. All righty. Phil says, Larry, can you grow mutton chops, wear gloves, talk about how high the rent is? I need to make it a little more white, but yes, I can make it a little more white. He had all white hair. I got a little white hair. He had all white hair. I could copy Jim McMillan. I do love him, so maybe I'll do that because the rent is too damn high. He wasn't wrong, right? He wasn't wrong. Yes. 6022 says Blakeman wants the cash grab. He not grabbed much cash with $100,000. Stefanik had 2-3 million off the bat. Zeldin raised like 11. So yeah. Little Frog, how are you? As a reg rep that leans libertarian, I think you mean a Republican rep, conservative on different issues. I take the damn line. There we go. Gracie says, serious runs for office are grueling and soul crushing. I volunteered for Romney. Yes, you're correct. It is. Yes. 100%. It is not easy. If you've run, you know, it is very challenging to keep doing it. So yeah, we keep pushing through. So, all righty. Adirondack says, Act Blue would just take a Soros donation and make it look like thousands of individuals donating $5 to $25. They would. I would like to not do that, but you're right, they would. I would like instead to actually have 5,000 New Yorkers give me $5. I would rather that be the case. But you're right. I could just go to Act Blue and done. I considered running in Democratic primary. I did. I considered it. And I was like, they would never give me Wilson Pakula either. And I could never beat Kathy Hochul. And it wouldn't work. So no, I consider both. I consider both of them. And it's impossible. I mean, Act Blue would probably be better when it came to, if I wanted to scam on fundraising, Act Blue would be better. You're right. If that was my goal, that is not my goal. But if my goal was fundraising scamming, Act Blue would be the one. That's true. So yes. All right. All right. D says, can you explain what you've said before about 3 cycles away and how Boston is 1 cycle away? Yeah. All right. A cycle is 2 years. Right? Every 2 years is a cycle in general, right? Because you do like, governor and then president and governor and president. So a cycle is 2 years. For those of you who don't know. So in that case, you're looking now at states where they don't bother running statewide candidates. Right now, those 2 states are Utah and Nebraska. In Utah and Nebraska, they don't bother running statewide candidates. Why? Democrats don't. Because the states are so deep red. I think Utah's 4-1. I think that's right. Nebraska's like 3-1 or something like that. Who wants to do it? D, if I said, hey, D, do me a favor. Put your entire life on hold for a year. Like, don't see your family much. Don't see your friends much. You can't work. And please do as we say, because we're just gonna make you do stuff because we're your handlers. And not just that, get yelled at online, get scolded online, get yelled at in front of people, go and see people who hate you, have people insult you every single day, have to know everything. If you don't know anything, people are going to call you stupid. You're going to feel terrible. And by the way, it's all going to be recorded for over a year. And every stupid thing you ever do, you will never live down, ever. Can you do that, please? Oh, what's the outcome? Nothing. Just because we asked you to. That's why. Do that, please. You'd say, no. Why? No. Now, if you're someone in a state where you can actually still run, where I would say, hey, D, do this. But at the end of this, after I put you through all that hell, I'm going to have a way for you to take $4 million, put it into an account, and pay yourself a salary of $250,000 every year for a long time until eventually someone gives you a cool job for your loyalty. And you go, oh, okay, I might do that. And if you're greedy, pay yourself $500,000 a year. You have shorter, but give us $500,000 for 8 years. Give yourself all that money. You can invest it, do what you want, build a business, and you'll meet a bunch of people you can invest in and make some cash. You might go, okay, I'll do that. Now, if you are in a state where you can compete and you can raise that kind of money, people will do it. Now, if I told you $4 million at the end of that deal, you might go, okay, that's what Zeldin did. Zeldin's like, okay, I'll take $4 million. Thanks. That's what Elise was going to get. She just took $2 million and ran, but she thought she was going to get $4 million at the end for doing nothing. Blakeman thought the same thing. Dude can't raise $100,000. He's not getting $4 million at the end. And that's the point. At one point, you can't get the cash in to make it worth anyone's while. They won't do it. They just stop doing it. So now Democrats in Nebraska go, hey, who's going to run? They go, nobody. How about Utah? Nobody. They don't bother running. So now we're seeing, and Mike thinks it's one. I think Mike is probably right on this. And Mike's point was Stefanik made it worse. And I agree. I think he's right. I said 2 to 3 cycles prior to Stefanik. Mike knew Stefanik. He was paying far more closer attention than I was. Mike saw it faster than I did. He knew Stefanik was out. He was like, she's in trouble. If you remember, D, he was like, she's in trouble. It's a problem. He saw her dropping even before I did. So he called it, and he's like, after she goes, it's worse. It's like 1 cycle. And I think he may be right, because I didn't realize Blakeman only raised $100,000. I assumed Blakeman would throw a couple million in, and then maybe he'll get a couple million. And so now he can leave at the end of the year with 2-3 million in his pocket. Someone will run in the next cycle or two, for a couple more million. They'll do it because they'll get the cash at the end. But if he can't put at least $2-3 million in his pocket at the end of this, why would anybody do it? And you got to work hard too, and lose your family and friends. You can't work for business, and you might lose. The thing's going to say you might lose friends, you might lose business. So that's what it means. At one point, you simply can't get candidates. They just won't do it. You see it already in New York City. New York City, who wants to run for mayor as Republican? Curtis Sliwa ran twice in a row. Why? He's the only guy who would. Nobody else would. Why would you? New York City is 6-1 Democrat to Republican. 6-1. Worse than Utah is Republican Democrat. No Republicans winning. People go, well, the Republican won last time, Giuliani. In the 90s. 30 years ago. Yes, 30 years ago, Republican won. True, 30 years ago. A generation and a half ago. Well, Bloomberg was our Republican. Stop. So I hope that makes sense. That's how it will happen eventually. It's just over. There's just nobody that can do it. So yes. Adirondack says, my hoodie arrived today. 5 stars, I recommend. By the way, my daughter is the one who designed that. Yes, I have to pump my daughter. I love that. Yes. Gracie says, Trump and Blakeman are friends. He's doing it for Trump. I really think that's it. It could be that. I don't doubt that. The reality of it is it could be that. The reason why Sliwa ran twice, no one else would. And to be forward, Sliwa's a loyal New Yorker. And it sounds like I'm just gassing up Sliwa. Maybe I am. But I think it's true. Sliwa was like, someone's got to fix this state. I'll take the hit. I'll take the L. And that's why, for those of you who don't know, why did he stay in? A lot of people are mad at Sliwa for staying in. I'm not. Why? Because nobody wanted to run as a Republican. Only he did. And he stepped up and he said, I'll do it. I'm popular. People know me. I'll carry the flag in the battle knowing I'm probably going to fall. I'll do it. Again, not once, but twice. I'll do it again. And he did. And they went, oh, knife in the back. Knife in the back. I would have done it too. I'd have stayed in too. He stayed in for spite. Good for him. They deserved it. I know you might go, but Larry, Mamdani, I don't care. They deserved it. Politics is petty. It is. It's petty. And that's what Gracie, you may be right. Politics is petty. They stabbed Sliwa in the back, and he told him go to hell, and I'm glad he did. That may be a hot take. I don't know if it is or not. I don't care. I don't care. Yes. Totally there. Christopher says, Ron Paul and Gary Johnson support libertarianism. Larry Sharpe and Spike Cohen reinforced my outlook at the local grassroots level. Oh, thank you, my friend. Very happy about that. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. I don't think I covered that. All right. I'm looking over at Instagram, and Orlando, you get that right? Do it. Take the line. Your name is bigger than that party. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Char says, not much hope for New York. I'm trying to stop it, Char. I'm trying to give us some hope. I get what you're saying, and I'm trying to change that. I am trying to stop that. That is my goal. My goal is to stop that. So I hope I'm right. So Adirondack goes on to say, even an attempt at the R line should generate news, material, and more name recognition. That's my other hope. Yes. That is my other hope. Yes. All righty. I think we grabbed those. Lunatic says, Larry Sharpe should be Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Don't get me in trouble. You always get me in trouble. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a Tanya Harding. No. Stop. So, all righty. Let's see here. Where am I? All righty. Hold on. Got that one. All right. Mike says, I may be late, but using popularity and influence of Republicans to push through a couple of key solutions like RFK or better a win is a good deal. Agreed. Right. There's the other piece. Mike is exactly correct. If you look at, if I just get in debate stage with Blakeman, even if I lose, I mean, I can't imagine, but I lose the primary. All my ideas will come up. All my ideas will be put out, right? That's the issue. They'll all be there. So, yeah. I think he's correct, and I would hope that we could fix it. I would hope we could. So, all righty. I keep moving down here. You guys give me so many. I'm trying to be good. Phil says, what about the Green Party line? You know, I like the Greens, but the Greens are kind of two things. There's three issues with Greens. Not that I wouldn't take the Greens. I would. But there's three issues. One, the Greens are anti-nuclear energy, and I am pro-nuclear energy. So for them to be able to go, we like you, Larry, but nuclear energy is a no. Hard. That's number one. Number two, the Greens are far more socialist than I am. I mean, not even close. They are hardcore socialists. Howie Hawkins, when he was the presidential nominee, was also the Socialist Party nominee. So am I okay with local people voluntary socialism and locally people deciding on their own, voluntarily opting in? Sure, I don't mind. So at that part, I'm okay, but they kind of want a whole lot more than that. So I don't know if they would do it. Lastly, they're kind of in a civil war right now, since, after Jill Stein. And if anything, they would be more open to us nationally, because a very big chunk of the Green Party is anti-war and libertarians are anti-war. So maybe at the national level, Greens and libertarians could at least do a single issue coalition and be anti-war if that was like the number one, issue for the presidential candidate. At a governor level, I'm not sure that would work. While I do like green energy, my green energy of choice without question, not even close, is nuclear. And they don't like it. So they would have to make major changes to do it. I'd be open to it if I know Howie is a friend of mine. I've had him on my show more than once. I know them. So if they wanted to, I'm open to it. Phil, I just don't see them doing it. I feel like we have too much. So, yes. All righty. Where are we? Hold on. I'm going to grab one more of these if we can. And Andrew goes, depending if how he decides running. It doesn't really matter if how he runs. The Greens do not have an infrastructure right now to make that happen. So they don't have it. Not in New York State. So, all righty. Let's see here. Okay, I have a super chat. This is from D. She says, it's my 47th birthday. Happy birthday. And I donated $47. Oh, thank you. Donate your age. Donate $25 in 2025. Or donate what you can. It's time for Larry to take the line. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome, D. You are the best. Yes. Guys, if you want to help out, what I always say, if you can, do $25 for 25. $25 a month for a year. Why? I'm giving you a year. Give me a year. Do $25 a month for a year. If you can do it, right? If you can say, Larry, I love you, but you know what? I don't know how much I can give you. Well, can you give me a cup of coffee a day? Every day, a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee every day. Yeah, that's about $100 a month. Larry, I love you, not that much. Okay. Can you give me a cup of coffee a month? One cup of coffee a month. $5 a month. Cup of coffee a month. Well, I can do more than that. Okay. Can you give me a cup of coffee a week? It's about $25 a month. So if you don't love me at $100, but you love me more than $5, maybe you love me at 25, whatever that is. So I appreciate that tremendously. Thank you so much for that. The support is amazing. I appreciate it. So yes. Michael over on Instagram says, are you going to run as a Republican? I'm not sure if I'd run as a Republican or not. I'm open to the idea. I don't know if I would, but I'd run a Republican primary either way, whether it be as an independent Republican. I'm not sure. If I want to force it, I could just change my registration. So maybe. I'm open to the concept. So maybe is I wish I had a better answer. I haven't decided on this yet, but I just love the idea of it. So yes. All righty. Okay. Phil says, if Larry can get to the Green Party, he can make a left independent line and a right independent line. I just don't see it. I hope so. I like the idea of it. I don't. Yeah. Andrew says, here's an idea. Meme contest, or more particularly, Larry and the Infinity Stones meme. Yes. See? Infinity Stones. Yes. And let's boost the morale, folks. Yes. 100%. Yes, let's do it. Love it. Let's absolutely do it. 100%. Yes. All right. Mike says, recall that Ed Koch ran and won as a Democrat and Republican. I don't remember that. Is that true? Would that be what? 70s? That was the 70s? He was just the right person with the right ideas. Parties were just dressing for him. So there is precedent in New York. Agreed. There is precedent. It could be done. I don't remember that one though. I'm glad you brought that up. I like that one. Yes. All righty. Becky says, I'm here for a few minutes. Do it, Larry. If you don't get the R, Becky needs to run as an L. Yeah, I'm running as an L no matter what. That's the other advantage is if I get the Republican nod, the amount of people who see me and know me basically just ensures we get a Libertarian line next year. So yes, I will still be doing that no matter what. Yes, absolutely. 100%. So Phil says, yes, Larry's from Libertarian, whether he gets Republican line or not. Yep. It'll be a feather in a cap. That's what I'm saying. I would be adding it. So yes, I would be adding it on. That would be the goal. The goal would be to get them all added together. That'd be the goal. So yes. He says, I watched establishment Duval GOP go after the more conservative GOP who supported Libertarian Eric Parker in a city council race. Seeing this on a local level is even worse than seeing it nationally. Yeah. Yes, it's true. So Lunatic says, Tanya Harding planned on kneecapping Nancy Kerrigan for 4 years between Olympic cycles. Okay, stop. Get me in trouble. Stop. Get me in trouble. Yes. All right. Christopher goes, honestly, over social media, I haven't seen nearly enough support as Stefanik had, and she was still deficit. There's a definite sign, gold versus blue, not red versus blue. Agreed. I am with you. I really think that Stefanik had far more support than Blakeman does. And that's why when she was there, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, I can't beat her. It's impossible. I told my team, right, when they were asking, I'm like, look, I can't beat Stefanik in a primary. It's impossible. Couldn't be done. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. But Blakeman. So, yes. City 22 says, before Curtis Sliwa, it was Maliatakis, and she used the matching funds to run for Congress. True, yes. And that was the issue, right? You would run to get something else. You'd have enough money left over where you could get something else. Correct. That's how you could do it. 100%. 100%. D goes, Larry has the edge of not being endorsed by Trump. That's actually a good thing. In New York State, it is. In other states, it would not be. Right? So if I'm in Kansas, again, as I said before, Missouri, whatever, I'm out there, Trump is very popular, right? With most people in those states. New York State, Trump is only popular with Republicans. He's not popular with non-Republicans here in New York State. Independents don't really like Trump. Democrats hate Trump in New York State. So yeah, I think you're exactly correct. It's true. So yes. All right. Nico Evans says, you can sell clean nuclear, Larry. Look, if I could sell it to the Greens, I would take it. I like Green Party guys. I do. If they were open to it, I would happily give the Green Party a line, right? If they would do it. Look, you know what I'll do? You guys are asking. I'll reach out. The worst they can tell me is no, but I will reach out. I know the guys there. I'll reach out, see if they care, if they want to. I'm happy to reach out and see what they'll do. I'll see if they'll do it. I have trouble seeing. I mean, remember, most people who are looking for power are either Democrats or Republicans. People who are not those are often ideologues for some reason, whatever the case may be. Green Party people are ideologues like Libertarians are. It's true. So they often are much more concerned about ideology than they are on winning. I'm not dissing. I'm just saying that's how it usually is. So I don't know. I don't know. But I'd be open to it. I'm not anti-Greens. If they want to come aboard, I'm happy to have them aboard. I'd love to have that line. I'd love that the green line. Love to. So we'll see. I will reach out. Phil says, oh, he agrees with you. The environmentalists are coming around on nuclear. It's true. They are. So yes. What she says, you have a state level single issue that unites the Greens. Ballot access, right? Yes, that's the point, right? They would have to, but see, in their eyes, they might be selling out, right? Most of the leadership knows me and would trust me. They would trust me. The issue is their foot soldiers may say, Larry Sharpe's Libertarian, we're selling out. We can't get behind this guy. They would rather hold on to their principles and not get the line versus, in their eyes, abandon principles and get the line. Now, if I could, look, you guys give me ideas. I do listen. I do listen. I will reach out and see if we can find some kind of coalition. Maybe it's possible, but from my experience with the Greens in the past, they are much more concerned about their principles and their issues than they are getting the ballot. But we'll see. I will open it up. I will definitely have I will have a chat with them. I will. So yes. Phil says, Larry is clear, Chrissy Yamaguchi. Look at you guys pulling me back from there. Okay. All righty. There we go. All right. You want me to show you some? Okay, hold on. Do I have any of those? Hold on. Yeah. All right. Phil wants me to show something if I can find it. Do I have it? I don't know if I have it. I may not be able to pull it up. Yeah, I can't pull it up. I'm sorry. I can't. I'll find another time. I wasn't ready for it. My mistake. Phil sent me something I was going to show, but now I can't find it. So yes. All righty. Gracie says, Larry does an excellent job of selling nuclear power. Wish Larry had a nuclear scientist on a show, assuming he hasn't. I have already. I've had a Gen 4 guy on already. I have. If you put in Gen 4, you'll see it. Yes. So Roy says, I included Giuliani sold his soul to win then. Hard to believe the same person. Giuliani is a very different person, Roy, than he was in the 90s. It's like he's not the same guy. Yeah, I like a different, yes. Like, if you told me they were different, I would think they're different people. I'm with you completely. Yes. Mike says, imagine a ballot where Larry has 6 lines, his name 6 times versus 2 for Hochul. It screams momentum. I must take a photo. I would love that. I would love that. That would be amazing. Look, I'm open to the idea. I am totally open to the idea, 100%. Nico Wabbit says, you might be able to peel off the ones more concerned with winning than principles. The public is increasingly learning that coalition and podcasts is the path to victory against the old guard. You know, you're not wrong. I am open to the idea. As I said, you guys are telling me this. I'm listening. I do listen. I will reach out and see if they're open to it. In theory, Mike is correct. I could have 6 lines. It's possible. In theory, I could have 7. But the question is the amount of money it would take to do all of them, right? To get each line is going to cost a lot of money to do each one. So each of them would have to be open to, getting the lines. And or at what point, at one point, am I spending so much money on getting lines? I'm not spending it on the campaign itself, right? So if it costs me $250,000 per line, and I want to get 4 more lines or whatever, that's $1 million. Is that more valuable spent on something else? Right? So hold on. Let me see if I can find this now. Hold on. This is what Phil wanted me to show you. I did get an endorsement. I did. I got an endorsement already.
Sir, what do you think?
My friend, you do not have to be Einstein to support Larry Sharpe.
I'll take that as an endorsement. Thank you, sir.
You heard the man.
Let's do this. Thank you. Done. I have the endorsement. It is there already. See, I have the Einstein endorsement. Basically, I'm done. That's the game. That's all it takes. I have the Einstein endorsement. I do. All righty. And of course, already done. Hold on. This is now with the hoodie, of course. With the hoodie. This is me and the Infinity Stone. Done already. The Infinity Stone. That's 6 though, right? Damn it, maybe there are 6. Are there 6? Damn it. All right. I need even more of them then. I need more of them. I need even more of them. Okay, I got to keep going. I need more of them now. All right, there we go. So that was that one. And hold on. This one. We are heading to Albany for this one. We are heading to Albany. This is us going to Albany now, in case you were wondering.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard the New York Central Mercury, bound for Chicago by way of Toledo. We'll be rolling out in just a few minutes. I'll be coming through for your tickets. Thank you, ma'am. All aboard. Next stop, Albany.
Heading to Albany. See that? You didn't know we were going to Albany? We are, through all the other stuff. I don't know why we're going to so many. But yes, we are going all over the place. I appreciate that. So all good. And finally, we do have one more. We have one more, which is showing you how I care tremendously about my personal health. This one is my personal health. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one also.
Breathe in. Let it move with you. Out with the lies, in with the solutions.
Guys didn't know I spoke Chinese, but I do. See that? All good. Thank you for those. I appreciate all. Guys, if you want to keep putting these together, I love it. Please don't stop. I love these. They're all good. We can keep going on as much as we possibly can. So, yes. All right. 6 is correct. God, I need 6 lines. All right. So I need more Infinity Stones. I need more of them. I need more Infinity Stones. More and more and more of them. All good. So I hope you guys enjoyed those. I love those. So Ronna says, when you speak of selling out, it reminds me of my Facebook friends. And I cannot get them to like, comment, or tune to the show. They're anarchists. They think it's selling out to listening to you. See, that, generally speaking, not listening is the part that bothers me. That's what bothers me. And that tends to be more left-leaning people tend to not listen, to dismiss. Right tend to distract. So the right is more apt to fight. And you see this all the time. You see it. Bill Maher says it. Bill Maher can get the right on his show. He can't get the left. The left will just ignore him. So your friends, tell them that they should confront me and show me how bad I am and explain how wrong I am and see that you can have a conversation. Ask them why they're afraid of me. Why are they afraid of me? There we go. Lunatic says, just lose all your principles to be a politician. Tell the people what they want to hear. Then I'd be a Democrat in my state. That's what Kathy Hochul was a Democrat because that's how you win, not because she cares about being a Democrat. That's why Cuomo was Democrat, not because he cares. That's how you win, right? So you do what it takes to win, and that's it. You say whatever it takes. It doesn't matter, and that's that. That's how it works. So yes. Wesley says, what if the Greens run their own candidate, but signatures for you as well as themselves in the ballot, while you in turn also collect signatures for them while collecting yourself? Because you can't. You can only have one person on ballot at a time per signature. That's all you can. That's the reason why. New York State makes it as hard as possible. Yes, but that would make sense. You cannot. So what I probably have to do, the problem is something like, you probably have to have something like, I don't know, one of them on my ticket or something. Like the ticket I have to have is a governor, lieutenant governor, AG, and controller. So I got to find a good ticket where people would be okay with that ticket too. So I got to work on that piece, right? How I'd make that work also. If I'm a Republican primary, would that matter? It'd be challenging to have a Green Party person on my ticket if I was running in the Republican primary. It'd be challenging. It would be a reason for them to say no to me, right? It would be a reason to say no to me. So that'd be challenging too. And then the Greens would have to accept that they'd also be on the Republican ticket. Now, unless you could do separate everything to where the Greens have, me on the top, all their other people. And then if I wanted a green line, if I did, then actually, hold on. As you're making me think, Wesley, the way it works, this might be a way around it. You just made me rethink this. While none of them would take the seat, building out the party, the people who are on the list are the ones who get to build out the party. So maybe that's the answer. I would run on top of the ticket, but then let them run their own line underneath it. And then they could fill out the party as they see fit once it's over, because it'd be 3 of them to 1 of me. Maybe. It's another thing I'll bring up. Maybe. It's another thing I'll bring up, that they would actually run. So there'd be two separate lines, two separate slates. Could do that. That'd be possible. You could do that. Kind of weird, but you could do it. So yes. All righty. All righty. Christopher says, nice endorsement vids. Awesome. Reminds me of Trump, garbage truck, or McDonald's. Yes. Why not? Let's do it. I love all those. Lunatic, of course, says, gangs of New York have the leader of the 5 points endorse Larry. Yeah, but you're going to have more weapons and stuff because that's you. Yes. Abron says, that's the precise point that upsets me as well, Larry. How can you argue against one's positions if you're unwilling to listen to that position? That made sense to me. One of the issues that you'll see is I was actually on a Libertarian show. I forgot the name of it. The Libertarian Party of New York does it. So Libertarian Party of New York does a show. I forgot the name of it, but it's from the LPNY. And what they do is they have their guest straw man an argument against libertarianism. That's a common thing, right? So maybe you could do it to where when I did it, I wrecked them because I listened to other people's ideas. So I know the arguments against me very well. And they were just like, They didn't even know how to answer. It's true. I spent a lot of time around people who don't like me. So yes, Little Frog says 1 Republican, 1 Green, 2 Libertarians. Well, the issue is, while that would be okay in general, right? While that would be okay in general, would the Republican voter want to vote for a Green? Probably not. So I would probably have to instead have multiple slates, a slate with me at the top, 3 Greens, and then that would be what we go out and go petition for to get the Green Party line. I'd be top of the ticket so that they get the line, but their 3 people would be their own 3 Greens. I think that's what he was talking about. I think that might actually work. Now, if I won, I couldn't actually be the chair of the party. I mean, I officially would be, but I would just let one of them be the chair of the party, and they would go off and do their own thing. So I think that could be, that's doable. That would be doable, right? So maybe that's something to think about. So there we go. I would think about that. 99 says, is Lieutenant Governor on the same voting circle as governor? I can't remember. If so, then your running mate would be 2. Yeah. So what would happen is they're on the same ticket. So it would be like Larry Sharpe and then whatever, Libertarian guy, right? And Republican, Larry Sharpe and Republican guy. And then Larry Sharpe and people guy, Larry Sharpe. So each one be different. Now, here's the problem with that. What could actually happen is whichever one I have the most votes on is the one who's Lieutenant Governor. That's how it would work. Whoever has the most votes on. The odds are my most votes is going to be on the Republican line. That's the odds. I mean, unless something crazy happens, that's what happens. So that's what would happen. So yeah, I think that could work. I'm considering it now. You guys make me think. I'm gonna reach out and see if it'll work. Guys, I'm gonna ask you something though, kind of silly that I haven't asked yet. Click the button known as like. If not like this button, this, please do it. Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Not just that. Share this. If you have not shared this, please share this someplace. Put it into a Facebook group, into a Discord server, into whatever you can. Put it someplace else. If you have not already subscribed or followed this post, wherever you're watching this on, please follow it, subscribe, whatever the case may be. It does matter. Please do so. But more importantly, donate. If you have not donated, now is the time. I have 2 or 3 days, 31st. So I have today plus 2 days to beat Blakeman. Yes. Unless he made a mistake, I could beat Blakeman. So guys, if you know anyone who says, I like this Larry Sharpe guy, but I'm not sure if I should give, now is the time. These next 2 days is the time. Yes, that is the answer. Please do so if you can. Now's the time to give. I don't know if I could now. Next 2 days, just give. If you can, please do so. If you want something for it, head to LarrySharpe.com/shop. All good, no matter what the case may be. But donating does matter. Absolutely. So, all right. I think I covered all those pieces. Guys, I'm going to let it go. It was a bit late. I'm going to be on again tomorrow evening on my Sharpe show. I will be on then, and I will be doing probably another Sharpe show for New Year's. So you'll see me then. I'm asking you, as always, if you can donate, now is the time. We have to beat Blakeman. And do me a favor. Once this is over, please do me a favor. Comment afterwards. Do you think I should take the line, Republican line? Yes or no? Why? Do you think I should take the Republican line? Yes or no? Why? And if you want to talk about the Greens, that's fine too. I love the Green thing too. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you all